Welcome to the Business Hub.
Business in Nigeria. It started as Anthony Nelson.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to the Business Hub, and today I also be having my special guest that has been with us on this journey, on this series on building black wealth in North America. And it's been so intriguing, and for me today I can't just sit down because it's getting deeper and deeper. So let me stand and be able to hear him properly. So I hope you don't mind that. So Mr. Isreal, nice to have you on set again.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, it's been quite a journey. And I really want to say thank you for this insight, and I think it's been beautiful all the way. Today, I am so curious because we're talking about emergency funds and investments. So I decided to stand and hear you clearly. So tell me, what's emergency funds are?
Okay, just put it straight.
So why is it also essential in the financial stability,
Yeah, okay, it's part of the building block of the financial foundation. So emergency fund is putting aside at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly income. Putting aside 3 to 6 months at least of your monthly income. The byproduct of any education is money. Whether you end up to be a research person or you're a professor, the byproduct of any education is money. So my viewers, why don't you learn about money? The essence of this series is for you to learn about money.
Learn about money.
Learn about money. Now we are talking about emergency fund, which we also dovetail into the roof of the financial foundation, which is investment. Like I said, emergency fund is having at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly income.
Okay.
Yes, like the word said, right? Emergency. Mm-hmm. And there's fund there. Mm-hmm. Emergency means unexpected outcome, expected situation. Remember, we talked about the base, which is the protection. Yeah. That's also takes care of emergency. But this emergency we are talking about is not, it doesn't have to do with either your life or ailment or debts or things that have to do with, all those stuff. Okay. But this emergency now is talking about other things that could happen, right? You might have a broken down vehicle. That's an emergency. I've seen people where they drive car, any small issue, they are looking for somebody to send them urgent 2K. You know the story of urgent 2K?
I'm on the road, right? My car just broke down.
Yeah, so that's emergency fund. Your roof is leaking.
Yeah.
You don't need to start bothering people about that. That's emergency fund. So the advice is that to build up your emergency fund, at least every time, like I said, spending is becoming an habit for a lot of people. It's an habit. Likewise, savings
We are meant to spend.
is also an habit. Yes, we are meant to spend, but you should not make it an habit. A lot of people spend a lot of things they don't need.
Okay.
Yes, they just flow with the Joneses syndrome. So it's expected at least 10% or more, like 15% of your monthly income. Keep it aside.
10 to 15%.
10 to 15% of your monthly income. Keep it aside. The advice is that you will pay yourself first.
Okay, how do you do that?
Pay yourself first. Once you earn any form of wage, you pay yourself first. You take your family as the first expenses. Because talking to a lot of people, what they always talk about, no, there's expenses. They're always talking about expenses. Why don't you treat your saving and investment as one of your expenses? Because people always gravitate to expense, bills. Yeah, we live to pay bills. Add your savings and investment as one of your bills. So you need to pay yourself first. And how do you pay yourself first? Remember, once you receive your wages, the first thing that you do is to pay your landlord. You are paying others. The next thing you are doing is to pay your cable subscription. You have paid others. The next thing that you do, you are paying your telephone. The next thing that you do is to go to cinema.
Utility, okay.
And all those kind of things are utility. You are paying others. Not that you are not going to do some of those things, but when you pay yourself first, it will help you by way of consciousness not to go for things that are not necessary because you have paid yourself first. So I can help you to set up some simple funds where it will leave your account on a monthly basis and it's growing for you in form of investment. I can set up the emergency fund for you so that you're able to build that emergency backbone. So once you do is to pay yourself first.
Sorry for interjecting. Some people will look at this and feel that this emergency fund that we're talking about are for people whose wages are on a different level. For example, someone who is earning, a little dollar here, a little dollar there, that is like a hand to mouth monthly and all that. And you're telling me about emergency fund. How do I cultivate that habit in that little? That is, I'm struggling to make sure that all my bills are paid and also to see how I can at least run my life a little bit and all that.
Yeah, I'm expecting that question.
Okay.
The truth is that it's not how much you earn that matters.
It's not
how much you're able to keep that matters.
Really?
Again, the rich will tell you that it's not how much you earn that matters. It's how much you're able to keep that matters. The truth is that a lot of people don't cut their coat according to their size. Not even size. Now, if you have a big size, cut the coat according to your cloth.
Your material.
According to the cloth, the material that you have. So they have seen situations where people that earn 6 figures, they are broke. They are living from hand to mouth. So it's not a function of how much you earn. Why? Because they don't pay themselves first.
So it's a function of habit?
The habits.
Discipline?
So discipline. Habits. What is your habit? Do you have that habit of keeping something aside for emergency and for investment? If you don't have that habit, whether you earn $1 million monthly,
you sweep it off.
You will still get broke. I mean, there are. If you can Google and search, there are people that they gamble and they won thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Go and check the history of those that have won lottery over the years. We'll discover that many of them, if not all, they go back to the trenches. They get back broke. So first, pay yourself. Secondly, you buy things that you need, not things that you want.
Sorry, please. I won't like you to lose this line of thought.
Yes.
Things that you
need, not things that you want.
I want you to continue that line of thought, but I want you to just look at this. I'm looking at. You say pay yourself.
Pay yourself
Can
first.
you be a little bit practical? Just adding figures to what you're saying.
Okay. There's a concept of starting small to grow big. Starting small to grow big. Okay. We look at this thing and we think that to save, that means you must be very comfortable. Everything must be in place. No.
Let's say I'm earning $3,000 in a month.
3,000 is too much. 3,000 is too much. Okay. Let's take, for example, let's put figure to this. Now, if you can keep $10 a day, $10. Most people earn their minimum wage is above $10. Just tell yourself you want to keep $10 a day. Minimum wage per hour is about $17, right? Keep $10 a day. I mean, you're not going to do only 1 hour and go home and sleep. Most of them do 8 hours and even do double jobs. Keep $10 a day. That's $300 in a month. $10 a day. So I'm telling you to start with the $10 principle today. $10 a day, that's $300 in a month. At a rate of return of 8%, that is over 400 and something thousand in 30 years. Remember, I'm using the compounding effect. If you keep $10 a day at $300 monthly, at rate of 8%, that person may retire with 400 and something. It's better than retiring poor, right?
No.
Then with double that, $600, that's over $800,000 on just savings alone.
But it's an emergency fund.
Emergency
So
fund.
you are looking at this compound interest on it over time and all that. But emergency happens after, in every year you have one emergency or the other. Since it's an emergency fund, should I dip my hand in it and take it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have that culture of saving, you will not see anything to dip into.
Beautiful. Now, you were saying something on needs and wants, which I said you possibly will be wrapping up with that because of time and then the investments. Now, what I want to ask, where should I keep my emergency fund to ensure it's easily accessible and earns a reasonable interest rate?
Okay, there's a thin line between emergency fund and investment.
Yes.
But I would like to blur that thin line. I like to remove it. Okay. Treat your emergency fund like an investment, but you know that it's an emergency fund, just in case.
Okay.
Treat your emergency fund as an investment. Like I said, 3 to 6 months. Investment should be a combination of both your emergency fund and your investment nest. The analogy that I use is you should start small and grow big. It's like looking at both the emergency fund and the investment put together. Okay. So if you want to keep the fund, there are portfolios where you can get a rate of return. I'm not talking about inflation yet now, because if you need to keep your money in an investment nest, you should be thinking of also making sure that nest is hedging against inflation. That should be another topic for another day. Okay. But however, the bottom line is that start the $10 principle. If you need assistance, get across with me. Scan that barcode there, get across. We'll teach you the school of money, how you can generate fund using that small approach on a daily basis. And you can have opportunity to be in that business school. We have a place where you can start to study about money. The rich, they take their time to study about money because life generally revolves around money. Whether you like it or not, money makes things to work. And if you don't understand how money works, you will work all your life for money.
That's us. So it's better to understand how money works.
It's better to understand how money works.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, possibly just wrap that up with the need and wants. You've mentioned a few things on it. Now, what are the main differences between the low-risk investment and the high-risk investment?
Okay. I will not want to put it in the form of differences or that, right? Okay. So, I mean, every client has their own unique situation. So, everybody is analyzed according to his own unique situation. Let me say, for example, somebody that is saving towards a down payment, for example. And that's why we say people should start early, right? And because you have a target savings, you say, okay, I want to save towards my down payment. Okay, I will say, okay, can I use the first home savings account for you? Then, the next question I will be asking, what is your time horizon? When are you targeting to get that first home? When do you think you want to buy that home? If the person says 3, 4 years, 5 years, then I know that, oh, that's awesome. I will make sure I put the person's fund in high-yielding interest portfolio. Not that it's risky, but it has some fluctuation. But averagely, within that period of time, you'll be having a double digit. But if that person keeps it in the bank in a savings or checking account, that money, at the time you want to access it, it must have lost value. That's why I say I don't want to mention about inflation. So we put it so that it edge against. And it's not going to run on a simple interest. It's going to run on a compound interest, right? So again, using that portfolio of FHSA, First Home Savings Account, if somebody today contributes to First Home Savings Account before December 31st, someone said, I'm ready to research that they've extended to January, some period in January. That person has the leverage of also reducing its tax exposure from his previous year's income. Imagine the person is earning 50K and is able to contribute 8K into the First Home Savings Account. Now, you say he has 4 years. I will make sure the person has a portfolio where he has double-digit rate of return, compounding rate, and again, so it's a win-win situation. Again, that person is going to the taxable income for next year that is going to do his tax return. The 8,000 will be removed from his income. So that person is saving on both ways. So instead of government to tax him on 50,000, they are going to tax him on 42,000. That's a savings. If the person is going to fall in the band where his marginal tax ratio is higher, that you need to return money to government, that alone can make them to even get money back from government.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
Now, in just a few seconds.
Thank you.
Well, I saw that as a huge advice. You talked about the want and...
Yeah, they need to pay for their advice. I'm not too expensive for the community. I know what to do for you.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Isreal.
Thank you.
I think it's been beautiful all the way.
Sure.
And
yeah, more to come.
More to come. So, our viewers, that's our show for today. So, you send in your comments, send in your questions. You can reach Mr. Isreal, and I think you will have more questions for you. All right. I see you in the next episode with Mr. Isreal Iyamu. Thank you. Thank you for coming to Business Hub.
Thank you.
We celebrate you.
Thank you.
Business in Nigeria. It started as HTML